This evening, I wish to convey in clear terms what the mission and purpose of this program is. My name is Ajuri Ngelale, and I am the host of the Diary from the Delta. But this program is not about me. This program is not about a politician, and it is not about a political class. This program is about every citizen in this country who yearns for tangible development at the grassroots across not just the Niger Delta, but across the entire country. And in our determination to facilitate true development by linking the detailed plight of our compatriots with the mandates of public administrators at various levels, we ask you to not only lend your voices, we ask you to present the specific infrastructural and other socio-economic challenges of your community, town, and local government area on our social media platforms. You can do this by submitting photographs and video footage of abandoned projects, decayed infrastructure, polluted environments, and other developmental challenges confronting your locality, attached with the name of the community, local government area, and state, as well as a brief description of the problem on our social media platforms. After review and verification, our team will personally assess as many of these developmental challenges as possible in full public view to inspire government responsiveness and action in these critical areas of underdevelopment. I thank you sincerely for being a part of this initiative. Please do stay with us as I welcome you to the Diary from the Delta, a region of the minority steeped in national history, where the lifeblood of the national economy attracts diverse peoples and interests from across the country and around the globe. It is here in Nigeria's bustling Niger Delta region that we observe and incisively diarize life and activity in this fast-expanding region facing peculiar human and socio-economic challenges. We assess local industry. We hear directly from the people affected by decisions, and we question the decision makers empowered to serve and protect them. I am Ajuri Ngelale, and it is my honor to present to you a Diary from the Delta. Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. exclusively on AIT. The speculation is rampant. You can hear it in the whispering conversation of the common man, and you can see it in the ink on the front pages of newspapers, the content of which is all about who will occupy Creek Haven, the seat of power here in Bayelsa State, after the state goes to the polls on December 5th, 2015. I am Ajuri Ngelale, and I report to you from the state they call the glory of all lands, here in this entry from my Diary from the Delta. Nigeria's oil-rich Bayelsa State is amongst the youngest of Nigerian states, having been created by former head of state General Sani Abacha on October 1st, 1996. And while the state itself is young, indigents of Bayelsa State have been at the forefront of both regional and national leadership from the pre-independence era unto the present day, albeit as a result of differing political permutations. Interestingly, the trends of Bayelsa State's pre- and post-creation political history may very well provide a unique insight into the ongoing power tussle currently playing out in the run-up to the 2015 Bayelsa State governorship election. In 1959, a young leader in the Niger Delta axis of the defunct eastern region, Chief Harold Dapabirie, had grown disenchanted with what he considered to be the narrow-focused political ideologies of both the Eastern region's dominant National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, NCNC, led by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and the Western region's ethnocentric Action Group Party led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, assessing both parties' respective priorities to be insensitive to and ignorant of the peculiar environmental challenges being faced by the Niger Delta people in the face of new oil exploration activities in the region. Chief Dapa Birie decided to break away and form his own political party, the Niger Delta Congress, NDC, to advance the cause of human and environmental rights protection for the people of the Axis. After establishing the party, the Niger Delta Congress went on to win one seat in the National Parliament in the person of 26-year-old politician Melford Okilo from Ogbia, Bayelsa State. In politically expedient maneuvering, NDC leader Chief Dapa Birie then brokered a deal with Prime Minister Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa of the ruling Northern People's Congress, NPC, to safeguard Niger Deltan interests, which resulted in the appointment of the NDC's sole parliamentarian, Melford Okilo, as a parliamentary secretary and cabinet minister alongside Alhaji Shehu Shagari in the First Republic. This would be the beginning of a consistent trend in which Niger Delta leaders would align with the nation's ruling party under civilian rule. In the Second Republic, the dynamics of minority politics had changed considerably from the First Republic. The Nigerian Civil War and the subsequent decade of military rule, which separated the First and Second Nigerian Republics, had given depth to a sense of individuality and self-determination amongst the leaders and elders of Niger Delta minorities after many years of operating in subservient political capacity in the Igbo-dominated eastern region of the First Republic. The creation of the Old River State and other new states in 1967 at the height of wartime hostilities doubled as both a stroke of sagacious Nigerian military strategy to break down Biafran unity and morale during the war, and as a long-term divide-and-conquer instrument for the political control of strategic southern territories and, by extension, a stranglehold on national power-sharing influence by northern military and political actors. On the part of Niger Delta leaders, alliances with the only party representing to an extent national diversity embodied by the ruling National Party of Nigeria, NPN, in the Second Republic, meant that their particular socio-economic needs and interests were considered, and that the advancement of local agenda items would not be predicated on the consent of the Eastern Region's Nigerian People's Party, NPP, nor the Western Region's Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN. Similar to the First Republic, Southern minority groups led by the NPN-elected River State Governor Melford Okilo concluded that its best chance to be fully incorporated into the mainstream governance agenda and the national political scene would only be realized through an unwavering loyalty to ruling party platforms. The Fourth Nigerian Republic, however, presented an unprecedented political topography in the country with the emergence of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Unlike the formerly ruling NPN, which had heavy northern presence with isolated pockets of support in the south, the PDP would boast of presence in all of the nation's geopolitical zones as a pan-Nigerian political party. The South-South geopolitical zone in particular would prove to be its stalwart support zone. In the last 16 years of civilian rule, the South-South geopolitical zone has voted for 18 governors across the 6 states comprising the zone. Out of the 18 governors elected in the South-South since 1999, 17 of them were elected on the PDP platform, while the sole exception in the person of Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole was twice elected on the Action Congress of Nigeria party platform. In the present day, the emergence of the governing All Progressives Congress, APC, has altered the balance of power in many parts of the country, as the governing party boasts of presence in each of the nation's geopolitical zones. In the run-up to the 2015 Bayelsa State governorship election, the APC is hoping that the Niger Delta's history of working alongside the governing party platform will work in its favor, while staking its ambitions to make inroads into the PDP-dominated Niger Delta region on the aspirations of a former governor of Bayelsa State, Timipre Silva.
Just come here as a campaign to your palace to seek your blessings. But as tradition demands, we will not live here, sir, Your Majesty, without you blessing us. Because we know that it is this blessing that will give us that a new day is dawning over Bayelsa State. And I want to promise you something. One very important promise. I will not use your money to marry more wives.
Me and no go marry, baby wife. Oh, lie, lie, lie.
We are coming here to bring prosperity to you, to empower you, the people, especially the youth. Anytime I see you, my dear youth of Bayelsa, I worry, because it is our responsibility to look after you, because we cannot have insecurity in Bayelsa State if we want to develop this state. We cannot bring investors into this state if this state is not secure. And if we don't bring investors to this state, then we cannot provide employment for our people. So if we make this place safe and secure and peaceful, then investors will come here. And when the investors come here, jobs will be for you people. So I want us to work together. This will be a government of all of us. I'll be talking to you regularly. I will not make myself a pharaoh over you. I will not make myself an emperor over you.
The continued dominance of the People's Democratic Party in the region is centered on the reality that the party fielded the nation's first ever president from the zone. And following a presidential election contest, which saw the Bayelsa State-born former president Goodluck Jonathan secure 361,000 votes out of a possible 367,000 votes cast in Bayelsa State, local disenchantment with the former president's electoral defeat is said to be a factor in galvanizing popular support for the PDP flag bearer in the upcoming governorship election.
In total support of you, you will be given the second term in Jesus' name.
The next elections coming up on the 5th of December, we implore you and your council members to use their influence and their authority to tell your subjects And the next elections should not be a war between enemies. No. In this game, we are soliciting for votes, and people are free to vote as they choose to. Our duty as political leaders and contestants is to meet them, interact with them, engage, and try to convince them. That's what we are doing. The coming elections are not to be won with guns and bullets. The coming elections are not to be won with bombs and dynamites. So our message of the PDP is a message of peaceful elections.
Undoubtedly, in the run-up to the hotly contested governorship election in Bayelsa State, popular speculation has been focused squarely upon the top two contending forces. But is there realistic opportunity presenting itself for a third-party candidacy in Nigeria's modern political context? A young business mogul who is well known in Bayelsan political circles believes he has the slingshot to defeat Goliath. Though a political neophyte, Moses Siloko Siesia is an achiever, a successful and nationally recognized entrepreneur with a penchant for finding opportunity where others see none, and armed with an inner drive to out-hustle all competitors in his way. But facing tall odds in a governorship race fielding one former governor and an incumbent governor, he asserts that the experiences which have shaped his existence render him ready for the steep political climb to the apex.
From the scratch. I remember several years ago when we lost our father, things were quite difficult for us. I had to fend for myself. I had to sell oranges. I had to sell ice blocks to survive. And today the story is different. We have actually built businesses. We have actually created investment. So for you to create an enabling investment, there must be some level of confidence building in the process. And this is what we have built over the years. And that's why today we are known locally and internationally. And this is what we are bringing, to governance. So we believe as those who are seen as trustees of prosperity. I believe that the future and the destiny of this country lies in our hands as young people. So we must work constructively to ensure that we safeguard our future. Today in Nigeria, if you don't build the young people, there's no future. And, most of the things that are happening in our society, even in our government today, my generation is being neglected. And we cannot deliberately continue the way we are continuing, because if we continue this way, because Nigeria today, we have a large number of unemployed army. And this is something that is so worrisome. US, UK, all over the world, they have issues of unemployment. And it's so worrisome. When an idle man, they said there's an adage, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So, but in Nigeria, we are not taking steps, even stakeholders, to deliberately and constructively engage our young people. While I was growing up, I used to know about skill acquisition centers, sports development centers. Where are those institutions? They are no more there.
Having chosen a woman as his running mate, the young governorship candidate says that his ticket represents the two most underrepresented and underserved segments of the Nigerian population, youths and women. And while he believes that the nation's teeming youth population is key to effecting true change, he expresses concern that there is an absence of initiative on their part to engage with the serious issues confronting the nation.
I keep re-emphasizing or reinstating these issues that borders on non-inclusion of young people in governance. And if you look at Nigeria as a whole, you will also realize that the young people of this country, as far as I'm concerned, majority of young people in Nigeria, they are not ready for change. They are not ready to take up leadership or political positions. And I will tell you why. The old folk youngs that we have in our political airspace today started very young, at their very young age. And history has actually shown in Nigeria that those who recorded success in their various endeavors in terms of political leadership and leadership that is characterized by the military were very young at their starting age. But talking about today we have a lot of young people in Nigeria who are not futuristic in their approach to issues that borders on the economy, that borders on governance. So if we wait for these older ones, they will not give us a chance. And what I'm doing today in Bayelsa is one of the surest means that you can turn these challenges into an enormous political opportunities for young people. And I also want to state that the movers and shakers of the global world economy today, they are less than 35 years. The Facebook, the Googles of this world. And if you look at the people who are actually re-engineering the global economic advancement are young people. And if you also look at Nigeria today, the industry that is creating a massive impact towards boosting our GDP growth is contributed by the creative industry. And that industry is populated by young people. The entertainment industry is also there. So young people in Nigeria have not realized the potential that they have. In terms of voting strength, we have the highest population. If the young people in Nigeria today comes together and say, this is what we want, Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, these old political leaders that have continued to occupy our political airspace will be very uncomfortable. But they understand the mindset of young people, the shortcomings of young people, that a lot of young people in this country, they're not futuristic. They are so concerned about immediate gains. So they understand that if we work together in unity, we can achieve a lot in this country. And that's what they wouldn't want.
In my next entry in the Diary from the Delta, we encounter and observe closely the two frontline candidates as they embark upon their campaigns to serve a second term in Creek Haven. What are their specific plans for Bayelsa State should they win the election? What is most important to Bayelsa voters as they prepare to cast their ballots on December 5th? Please join us next week for this and much more. I am Ajuri Ngelale, signing off.